Hey, Ashlin.
Hey,
How are
how's
you
it going?
doing?
Good.
Good. Tell me more about yourself, Ashlin.
I am a filmmaker.
Hmm.
I just put out a film called The Chemical Burden, and um, I'm kind of just enjoying the ride so far.
Film festival, Ryan? Has
Yeah.
it been good?
Oh, it's been great. I already won 2 awards.
Cool.
Going for the third here.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Which kind of award?
I Best Improvement of a Young Filmmaker at Valor Fest,
Cool.
and I got Best Experimental Film at Fastigious International.
Okay, cool. So the first one is in Arizona. I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
hmm
second film festival.
It's in LA.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But you live in Arizona.
I live in Arizona. Yes.
Okay, cool. So tell us more about the movie.
It is kind of a experimental, trippy look inside of a drug addict's mind.
Trippy look. Okay.
Yeah. We got to do a ton of fun stuff. I loved this project. It was my favorite thing I've ever worked on. We had a guy come in and just do this crazy lighting, and we wanted to be all experimental, and it turned out really cool. I'm really happy about it.
Cool. Tell me more about the artistic approach of this movie, because you're talking about like experimental and like tripping, and so how like cinematographically you showed this.
Yeah, so I mean, cinematography wise, we did a lot of kind of close ups and kind of moving camera shots, just keeping it dynamic.
Mm.
But artistically, I think what I was really going for is to capture the inside of an addict's mind,
Mm.
and not necessarily the outside of most films. It's like I am watching this happen, but
Mm.
I'm interested in kind of the what's actually happening inside.
How hard was that?
Um,
Because you said you had fun, but I think that
the script writing process was pretty hard.
yeah.
Because I just got this idea, and it's like, how
Mm.
how do I put this on paper?
Yeah.
Um,
Because this is what we do is how to translate this idea
mhm.
and like you know choosing the right shots, the right scenes, the right yeah. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot that got cut. um,
Hours and hours.
Not hours and hours, probably like 10 minutes.
Okay.
But yeah, there was a lot that was cut, but I think um, having to get something like that on paper was
Mm.
really, it was definitely a challenge. I had to, at one point, I just said, I have these ideas in my head. I'm going to dictate them to you.
Mm.
Uh,
Mm.
so I just had somebody sit in, and I was just like, interior crack house day. and, but it was a lot of fun.
Cool. What about the actors?
The actors, yes. I owe everything to the actors
Mm.
here. Corey Presley did such an amazing job. I don't think he minds me talking about this because he's very open about it, but he
Mm.
used to struggle with addiction too.
Okay, because I was going to ask you this question because these are like delicate things, delicate
hmm
themes that and like the actor should really know what he's doing, and the filmmaker should really know how to direct this actor.
Yeah. So he used to be on heroin,
Mm.
and I hope he doesn't mind me saying that.
We're not gonna edit this out.
Perfect. But yeah, he used to be into drugs, and he quit, and then he moved to Arizona to start a new life as an actor.
Mm.
And I kind of had this script, and I was so lucky to meet him because he just played the role perfectly. Because I had on the script, it was just like, Liam does heroin, and he's like, all right, we need to get more
Yeah.
detailed than that. And he went through step by step. And at first, it was just going to be a quick little thing at the beginning. But he got so detailed that I was just like, you know what? I want to keep all this because
Mm.
this is a look inside of um, doing drugs that nobody's ever
Yeah.
seen. Who knows how to actually prep and cook heroin? Like,
Exactly.
it's a lot more in depth than I would have expected.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I wanna give the example of the French actress Marion Cotillard, when she played the role of Edith Piaf in the movie. I think that was like 10 years ago, 12 years ago. Like the French singer Edith Piaf. The movie was called Le Môme. So she spent like a year and a half trying to like get to like watching all of her movies, all of her performances, like, and then they shot the movie. But the interesting, the more for me, the most interesting thing is after the movie, she had to go like to rehab for like a year, just because she started acting this this figure that she was incarnating, and that became like super dangerous for her mental health, because like even her response, her like everything, she started acting like this idol. So it took her like a year and a half, and she had to stop working, and she had to to say no, to refuse all the projects, because of like it's I think that the actors and actresses, they do an amazing job, getting into the skin of each of their characters.
Yeah, it's so cool because, I mean, I'm not an actor. I could never act. But knowing how much people can put into this,
Yeah.
like as much passion as I have for everything, they put into all of their work. And I feel like a lot of people, when they think of actors, they just think of the big A-list celebrities. But I think there are a ton of people out there who
I agree with you.
really put their lives into it.
Ashlin, so now you've worked with kind of professional actors and non-professional actors. Could you tell us, like, and it's your opinion, like, how did you feel directing professional and kind of, amateur actors?
I mean,
as a filmmaker.
As a filmmaker, I think that there are definitely a lot of things that amateur filmmakers can improve on. Like being off book is something that everybody, not needing a script, is something that is like, it's something that a lot of independent people, smaller people struggle with. But honestly, there's a part of me that likes directing amateurs more, because a lot of times there's a lot of passion into it, and they just really want to get going. And yeah, I can't say, oh, I hate working with this type of, I love my job. So I just.
Okay. So you feel that there's more like room for discussion with like amateurs?
Yeah. And it's a challenge to be able to direct people who haven't been directed as much.
Yeah.
But I think that's where the fun comes in.
Exactly.
I think if it's not a challenge, then what's the point in doing it?
Yeah. I'm giving a lot of examples today, but I cannot remember her name. She's like super famous European filmmaker. So what she does when she works with professional actors, and when I say professional, like we category A professional actors, so she presents her script, but her condition is, if we're gonna work together, you're not going to go and know by heart, like word by word, the script. We're gonna improvise. So the script is here only for you to know, like the headlines. In this scene we're gonna talk about this and this and that, just because she wants everything to be like super natural, and she always shoot with like 2-3 cameras simultaneously, so that they will not miss any reaction. Just because for her, once you give like real detailed script, and then there is one camera that will do like shot, and then like the over shoulder thing or whatever, this will kill like that, the real impulse of an emotion. So it's interesting. This is when she works with like professional artists. When she does not, because sometimes now she's doing a movie, because I saw that she's casting some non-professional actors. So she's like, she was like, I'm gonna I'm gonna change my way. Yeah, so that this is something interesting to talk about, like the relation that a filmmaker could have with like professional and non-professional actors. Anything else you would like to say?
Let's see. I want to also thank Chelsea Clare for killing it. The way she screams just still gets me. I want to thank Ted Tanaka for his cinematography. And I want to thank Alex Kennedy, especially our sound guy. And I had an edit of it, and I gave it to him to do sound work, and he was like, oh, I can fix a few things here or there, and he spent all night working on it, and he took my edit, and he was like, here's it back, only a million times better. And I'm like, wow, I suck at editing. But I want to send a shout out to all of those great people. Harold Ray working his butt off. Just, if it wasn't for my crew, I wouldn't be here, so I'm very thankful. Oh, Dylan Garcia. Lighting guy.
Okay.
Crazy good lighting. If you see it, you're going to be like, oh, man, Dylan Garcia is really good at what he does.
Yeah, perfect. Any future projects?
I'm
with
working
these
on a couple.
or without these people?
I'm working on a couple. I'm working on an anthology. I'm working on a documentary.
Wow.
I got a lot of projects in the pipeline, and I can't wait to start dropping more.
Yes. Well, Ashlin, thank you a lot, and
Yeah,
we're just glad having you here.
The pleasure's all mine.
Thank you.
Yep.